NHL training camps are beginning to wind down, the preseason is slowly giving way to the regular season, and the New Jersey Devils sit with a mere 5 roster transactions needing to be made to get them ready for opening night. Some of these moves may seem obvious to the general eye, but based on the names that are left, there could be a couple of surprises. Today, we look at who's left, and who will probably be left after the last round of cuts. The terrific 28. The following players are still with Jersey's team as of the time of this piece being written. Forwards: Brian Boyle, Jesper Bratt, Blake Coleman, Taylor Hall, Nico Hischier, Marcus Johansson, Stefan Noesen, Kyle Palmieri, John Kenneville, Kevin Rooney, Brett Seney, Drew Stafford, Miles Wood, Pavel Zacha, Travis Zajac, defenseman, Will Butcher, Andy Green, Eric Gryba, Ben Lovejoy, Mirko Mueller, Steven Santini, Damon Severson, Ty Smith, Sammy Vatanen. Goaltenders: Mackenzie Blackwood, Keith Kincaid, Eddie Lack, Corey Schneider. Just by looking at this list, we know at least one goaltender will be cut, and possibly a second depending upon if Schneider is deemed healthy enough to start the season or not. With 15 remaining forwards and 9 remaining defenders, the Devils will need to cut 3 of those players to make the mandatory opening night roster maximum of 23. Obviously, there are a number of players on these lists who are safe, but there are enough who could be on the bubble for one reason or another. Players who could be on their way out: forwards, Kevin Rooney, Brett Seney, Drew Stafford. Without these 3 bubble forwards, the Devils have the necessary 12 forwards to ice on opening night. 1 or 2 will be kept around as a spare forward if injury occurs, and for this reason, Brett Seney will probably be the odd man out. He's still young and raw with some growing to do. A season in Binghamton receiving top 6 minutes could do wonders for his development. Seney is also exempt from the waiver process, so the Devils will not have to fear losing a player if they choose to give him some all-time. At the same time, Stafford and Rooney to a lesser extent are known quantities and neither projects to fit into the team's long-term plans, so it will be interesting to see who get the final forward spot. Defensemen: Eric Gryba, Ben Lovejoy, Mirko Mueller, Steven Santini, Ty Smith. Outside of New Jersey's top 4 of Butcher, Green, Severson and Vatanen, no one should be safe. Defense is the Devils' Achilles heel, and as such, the team should be looking wise the best 6 it can every night. That being said, Eric Gryba brings nothing of value to this team right now and was viewed as a Binghamton signing from the start. He's more than likely only around for tonight's preseason tilt and should be waived for assignment tomorrow. Ben Lovejoy was fine last season in a limited role, however, he is 1 year older and looks 1 year slower as well. The Reverend should transition into it not every night role while still being a strong voice in the locker room. 2 of the remaining 3 players require waivers to be kept, so Ty Smith is the odd man out, right? Not so fast. While Steven Santini has looked passable in the preseason, certainly good enough to be the bottom pairing righty, Mirko Mueller has looked rough to put it lightly. He is continually getting pinned into the zone and many of his passes are downright dumbfounding. If the Devils want to maximize their returns, Smith and Santini should be on the roster come opening night. The team also could opt to cut a pair of forwards, and scratch 2 defenders. Keep that in mind for later. Goaltenders: Mackenzie Blackwood, Eddie Lack. Not really surprising news that the 3rd and 4th string goalies will be sent down once the starter is healthy. Keith Kincaid will retain his role as the backup to Corey Schneider. The final move: so, to gaze into the crystal ball and make the final cuts, here's what the Devils' 2018-19 opening night roster should look like. Cuts: Brett Seney, assigned to be Devils; Drew Stafford, released from PTO; Eric Gryba, waived to be Devils; Mackenzie Blackwood, assigned to be Devils; Eddie Lack, waived to be Devils. Lineup: Hall, Hischier, Palmieri, Johansson, Zacha, Brad Coleman, Zajac, Noesen, Wood, Boyle, Kenneville extra, Rooney, Green, Vatanen, Butcher, Santini, Smith, Severson extra, Mueller, Lovejoy, Schneider, Kincaid. There could be some differences, most specifically in net, but if the team should be icing the 20 best players every night, this is the right personnel. The Devils could opt to flip the wingers on lines 3 and 4 if they desire a bit more offense, as Zajac is still quicker and more skilled than Boyle even as both grow further away from their prime. If the team really wanted to push towards the future, and Senny impresses enough, they could keep him with Wood and Kenneville, making them the de facto third line, push Boyle to the extra and send Rooney through waivers as well. The odds of this happening seem slim, hence the above lineup. The defense pairings are designed to best meet the needs of each player's style. Green Vatanen is essentially a lock to start the season where they were last year, but it also leaves a stay-at-home player with a puck mover. Similar reasoning was put into the Butcher-Santini pairing, but it also doesn't leave a fairly raw Smith-Santini pairing. Instead, Severson moves down to balance the lineup and help mentor the youngest member of the New Jersey roster. This balance will allow the team to roll all three pairings at even strength, and in instances where the team needs, they can shuffle players around to best meet the game situation. Your take now. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the Devils roster and the cuts that need to be made. Which 5 players do you see not starting the year in New Jersey? How do the lines shake out based on what you've seen? Does Ty Smith make the team just as Nico Hischier did last season? Leave any and all comments below, and thanks as always for reading.